Hi developers, in today's video we will discuss about React hooks. Uh, React hooks are very important because I have faced a lots of interview question. In that each and every interview I ask this question, that is what is hooks, or tell me about hooks, or why hooks are more preferable than higher order component. So this kind of question they may ask. They may ask like tell me about hooks, or how many hooks you have used in your project. So hooks part is very important part in each and every front end, or we can say for react especially. In each and every interview the question will comes related to hooks. So we will start. First of all, what is hooks? Hooks is a special javascript function that allow you to state or other react feature without writing a class. If component needs state or lifecycle method, then use class component, otherwise use functional component. But after 16.8, with addition of hooks, we can use the state or lifecycle method in functional component also. So we always recommend to use the functional component unless you need a React functionality whose functional component equivalent is not present yet, like error boundary. Means hooks means what? Before 16.8 version, we use class component when we want lifecycle method or state. That time we use class component, but we know that to write a class component is very means we can say complex part, or it's required a lots of code. So instead of that, functional component are more plain or understandable, easy to debug and test. So we always prefer the functional component because we can write a clean code, we need to write a less code. So functional component is always preferable, and even I use functional component only. So we can give the definition like predefined function which gives some feature and alternative way to use the functions, to use the features of a class component in functional component. So this is simple definition you can give. So next, I think you understood what is hooks. Okay, and next we will see about do hook replace a render prop or higher order component. As we know that props or higher order component, higher order component means what? Basically we have write any component, in that we write some logic, and in other component we call that component, and we use that component. So higher order component is that component which takes any other component as input and create a new component. So we can use the higher order component instead of hooks, means or render props. Sorry, but instead of that, hooks, using hooks, use of hooks is very convenient. So we can say like that both render props and higher order component renders only a single child, but in most of cases hooks are a simpler way to serve this by reducing nesting in your tree. Okay, so we have a hooks available, that is useState hook, useEffect hook, useContext hook, useRef hook, useReducer hook, useMemo hook, useCallback hook, and custom hooks. So the hooks, these all are the hooks that we use in websites and gives alternative ways to write a class component. When want to write a functional component with state, that time we use the hooks. Then it requires a less code than class component. That things I have already told you. So these all are the things that we generally uh, to overcome these things we use the hooks. So we have some rules. We will see that rules to use the functional means hooks in functional component. It must be used inside a functional component only. First rule of hook is to use a hook is we in functional component only it is allowed. Then hook must be called at top. Okay, at the top only we can use, and cannot use in loop or with conditions. Okay, so these all are the conditions. And next is why hooks. So no need to learn how to deal with this keyword, because in class component we. So why hooks? We need to learn how to deal with this keyword. We don't need to learn how it means this keyword will work. So here means in class component we use these dot state to update the state. So this keyword means knowledge of this keyword is not very much required when we use the hook. No need to bind a event handler in class component. Classes are complex to write and takes and makes a reloading unreliable. And with a class component there will no particular way to reuse them and to share them. So these all are the things related to hooks. Next, we will learn every hook in detail, and I have already created a what is custom hook and related to that with the help of code. You can see that video, and on every hook there I will explain in detail all the things. If anyone specifically asks the question like explain useState or useEffect, then you can explain very, yeah, means you can explain easily